All right, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Thank you. And before we get started, I'll read that pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. I'm informing everybody that a video and an audio recording is being made of this meeting. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of our Tuesday, October 21st meeting.
And Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes from October 21st meeting.
And I will second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business, we have a public hearing, and this is in regards to an ownership change. It's a transfer of license because of a new ownership of a restaurant. So do we have the applicants here? You guys? Yeah. So do you want to just tell us what's going on? And yeah.
Hi, I'm Grace Enschel here representing Viva Cinco de Mayo LLC. We have all three members of the LLC here. And they are purchasing the restaurant business Jalisco Cantina, 8587 Main Street there. And we are applying for a transfer of the liquor license. We have our proposed manager Giselle here, and she's been TIP certified in Massachusetts, has experience managing restaurants serving alcohol in New York as well. And the concept of the restaurant will remain the same. The name, the hours, the licensed premises, really a smooth, seamless transition, just a change of ownership and then transfer of the licensee. We have a lease there to occupy the premises, and we will assign that lease from the current tenant to the Cinco de Mayo LLC. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, sure. It seems to me that we have all the documentation. Bob, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
You changing the menu? Just teasing.
There may be some new menu items. We have the finer details and something authentic Mexican cuisine.
Well, it's a great restaurant.
Family business and family restaurant. It would be a great addition to the town and remain a great gathering spot.
Yeah, and just for clarity, no change hours or operation days or anything like that. There's nothing further, Bob, from you. I will open this up for comment. It being a public hearing, got to let anybody who wants to comment giving them the floor. So if there's anybody on Zoom or here in person that has anything they'd like to say, now is the time. I don't see any hands on Zoom or anybody stepping forward, so I don't have anything. I don't have any further questions. Seems like everything's in order, so I would entertain a motion for approval. It was a transfer.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the transfer of the annual all alcohol restaurant license from Jalisco Cantina LLC doing business as Jalisco Cantina Mexican Cafe to Viva Cinco de Mayo LLC doing business as Jalisco Cantina at 8587 Main Street.
And I will second. And if there's no further discussion on transfer of license, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank
you. Okay, so next order of business, we have public comment. So if there's anybody on Zoom or here in person that would like to make a comment at this time, I see one hand raised. Kathy, unmute yourself and introduce yourself and what do you have going on? And you got to unmute, please, Kathy.
There we go.
Thought I hit the button, but I guess not. But anyways, Kathy Hall. I have a question, and it's do we have somebody representing the cable company? I know we used to.
We do, you mean on our cable advisory board?
Yeah, because I have a question about, and I don't know if it's appropriate here or it's something else, but for Spectrum, that, they do allow streaming except for channel 1302, which is the education channel. And the
Mm.
only way you can get that is if you, get the cable box. And my question is, why is that so different from getting this channel, on, Spectrum, or getting, the public, access one as well? It's very confusing. And I just wondered if there was a committee or somebody that
Kathy,
could.
we do actually have a member on the advisory committee, but did you have something?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say she's been appointed, but they haven't met since then yet, so she's a brand new member. But if you want to email me, Kathy, I can forward it to her. They did the renegotiation of the contract last year. And I don't believe they posted any meetings since then. So our new
Okay.
member hasn't been to anything yet, but I do have contacts for the chair and we can send it to them too if you want.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's
Thank-
it.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment they would like to make? Anybody? So we will move on into general business. Our first order of general business for tonight is a hawker peddler application we have to consider. And I see Christopher on Zoom, the applicant. Chris, do you want to just introduce yourself and let everybody know what you're trying to do here?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, members of the board, Town of Lee. My name is Christopher Hewitt. I am a representative from Trinity Solar. I am requesting a permit to solicit in your town. I do understand some towns can be a little weary of door knockers, and having done this for a little while now, knocking thousands of doors, I can understand why. I do just come before you respectfully requesting that you grant the permit. I am intending to solicit consultations, so I'm not actually selling anything to your residents. I'm just trying to schedule appointments for them to learn more about the Green Communities program to see if they could qualify for that. And we do not charge for it.
Interesting. We're not a green communities though. Is that an issue for him?
Right, yeah, we've never adopted this stretch goal.
Right, yeah,
Yeah. So
anyway. I don't know
I
if
don't know
that
if that
affects you
matters,
at all,
but, yeah.
Chris, but Lee's not a green community. We haven't adopted the Green Communities Act or whatever, but
Yes, may I interject?
absolutely.
So what we do is just give information out on the back end. Are you guys EverSource out there or National Grid?
Source, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So on the back end of the delivery portion of that EverSource bill for your residents, there's a distributed solar fee. It's $3 or $4. It's not much. That fee goes to the state of Massachusetts, which does have some benefits for residents to access if they qualify. My job is essentially to pre-qualify those homes and schedule a time for them to get more information at no charge to them. That would be what I'm requesting to solicit in your town.
Great. Yeah, I don't have any, did you get, we have a list of no solicitation. Did you get that from,
You'll get it once it's approved,
it's
that'll
approved.
come with his
Gotcha.
license,
Okay.
yeah. There
Yeah.
is a list of people that.
Yeah, so you just pay attention to that when you get the list and make sure he sends you the
Absolutely.
suit. Yeah, anyway.
You have an employee, Sabrina, there. She's been very helpful and very communicative.
Shout out Sabrina. Bob, do you have any?
Wave, Sabrina.
Yeah.
There she is. Thank you so much for your help, Sabrina.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good. I think we've covered all the important points.
Then if you would like to make a motion, I would.
Mr. Chair, I move that we grant the hawker peddler license to Trinity Solar LLC.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Chris.
I do appreciate your time and consideration in the matter. Thank you very much for having me in attendance this evening.
Thank you.
All right, and our next order of business is a discussion of the 250th anniversary committee, which looks like we have a couple people at least here to help us with that discussion. This we started last meeting and are going to continue it. So Bob, do you have any thoughts at this point, or if you don't, I would hazard one.
Okay, well, I just say, I mentioned at the last meeting, I was 8 years old when they had the bicentennial in Great Barrington, and it was one of the most exciting times of my life at that point, and I still remember to this day. So that I just think that this is just a wonderful opportunity for everybody, and I mean everybody in Lee to come out and celebrate the founding of the town, and of course the chamber will be pivotal in all of this. But I think pretty much open to any ideas as to how to bring this thing off.
Mm. Yeah, and I think we should actually, I was thinking about it a little bit, and we should really kind of try to get things moving pretty soon, really. If this is 2027, we're still in 2025, but we only got a couple months left, and then if this is gonna be a whole year worth of, not, and obviously not, we're not gonna have events every day, but if this is gonna be kind of a year worth of events that we're considering, I think it's be important to get started soon.
Yeah, if people have ideas, now would be the time, not 15 minutes before it kicks off.
Yeah. But Chris has given us has started a good framework for how the committee is going to be formed. We have in front of us, and I'll just kind of go down for everybody, just everybody's information of what we're kind of considering here. But the membership, we would potentially seek one member from each of these following boards: Select Board, Agricultural Commission, Community Preservation, Cultural Commission, Greener Gateway, Historical Commission, Youth Commission, and the Parks and Recreation Committee. If you're a part of a different board and would like to be a part of this, don't fret. You can still serve, because we're also going to consider 2 members at large, as well as we'd like the director of the Chamber of Commerce to be involved. And then there's a number of civic organizations in town that we'd like to work with as well. I think this all kind of makes sense. I don't know if you want to explain a little further, Chris, or.
Yeah, I mean, well, we said including but not limited to, and gave some different examples. And it doesn't mean they all have to have somebody, but we would want to reach out to, for example, we have on the list Kiwanis, Lions, various churches, Masons, VFW, Knights of Columbus, Sons of Italy, Sons and Daughters of Italy, Historical Society, different than the Historical Mission, Fire Company, as examples. So if the board wants to go down this route, we would send information to those committee chairs, as well as the different organizations, just saying, if you're interested, send us a letter, send us a name by, we'll give them a month or whatever, and, we can do the appointments. And then obviously the members at large can submit a letter of interest to the board. And then we just added some ex officio membership of myself, town planner, and Sabrina.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great stuff.
Not non-voting staff members to assist, yeah.
Something that Great Barrington did for the 200 and the 250th is they put out a book. It was actually hardcover book where all the businesses, families, or nonprofits, organizations. Obviously, you would have to purchase this book, but it's a great way to document the town, a moment in time, so to speak, for 2027. And so anybody who wanted to be included in that, it's just a great way of bringing the community together. And I still pull out books and look at them like that. So
Yeah, no,
just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Since the last meeting, Alex and Peg, who are both here tonight, had reached out about it. And actually, Alex had reached out before you guys talked about it too. It's kind of got the ball rolling with it. Peg stopped by today about it. And then I had one business owner and resident that had called to express interest in it. And also, Congregational Church had already reached out as well. And I think I just saw a hand from Kathy. I don't know if but it went down. I don't know if she.
Still on.
So
Yeah.
so, do we wanna, I was gonna give everybody a chance to kind of provide any comment. Kathy, do you want to start?
Yes. Well, first of all, on your long list, I didn't hear you say the schools. And I know that at least, at the elementary school, it is a requirement to, teach local history. So that would be a great opportunity, to get the schools involved, or certainly at the high school. There's all kinds of community service and stuff like that that could then, add information or whatever. Um, it's a wonderful opportunity for people to get involved in. Um, oh, as soon as I heard that we were doing a commission, well, I have to step down from things, but that doesn't mean my heart and soul isn't in it. And I would love to propose, like, talked about this book or whatever, certainly some type of a parade to honor our history, type of thing. I certainly would be open to, um, you know, discuss things, although I can't physically, be at a committee meeting, but if it were like Zoom, I certainly would love to be a part of it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and good, no, I definitely want to get this, probably get
Yeah,
the school
school
committee
voted that.
involved and, in this, it's definitely a good idea. Kathy,
Curious about the library as well,
yeah,
as another representative maybe.
I was gonna go to you next if you wanted to come up and, no, there's no microphone, but and the camera's not here, but
Sure.
this way you'll be on Zoom too.
Folks at home.
Introduce yourself, Bill.
So my name is Alex Hettinger. I'm the director of the Lee Chamber of Commerce. And this is something that is on our minds as the chamber, representing the chamber. I reached out to Chris, as he mentioned, because I was starting to think about all the things we could do. And my list is I didn't bring it tonight, but it's a growing list. And one of the things that's on my mind is also funding for some of these projects. And like Bob was saying, we don't want to have a great idea 15 minutes before we want to do it. And particularly for funding, if we want to go for any grants or get sponsorships from businesses, those are things that have to be done well in advance. I know the Mass Cultural Council, if they keep their same cycle in April, that's when their festival's grant deadline happens. So, some of the NEA, their grant cycles are 1.5 2 years in advance. So you really have to have some idea of what you're trying to do enough in advance. So that's something that is one of my things that I would think about.
All the more point to get it started, kind of get it going.
So to add to that, if the committee seeking any town funding, we would need to get that on the
Right.
warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kind of like we had for Founder's Day, there's some money for the fireworks. There could be a non-departmental appropriation for the 250th.
Would that be something that would fall under the Community Preservation Act? Is that the?
Oh, good question.
In any
But I
way?
mean, we could do it on, we could do it on a free cash appropriation, but
it would probably be tough from the community preservation because we're talking about like a year's worth of events and like, I'm not sure everything's gonna be like all open space or like, how do you like.
Mhm.
historical is one, but it gets tricky.
Yeah, it would be.
It's historical preservation.
Right.
The book might be able to be funded because that's like a thing that,
Right.
like an event. It gets tricky because
Yeah.
they're very restricted on what you can.
Right,
use it
right.
for, But
Maybe that's it. We just have to strategize.
Yeah,
what-
or
Where
a
the-
monument or something that was already,
I have that on my list.
yeah.
Add it.
Statue.
Historical. Yeah, or even, would we, I know that, there's the idea, the Mass Cultural Council has also reopened the cultural district program that was paused for a while and it just reopened. I was talking to Laura Brennan, who mentioned it, and from the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission. And so if that's something that we wanted to adopt as a town for more than just the 250th, but maybe it's a reason to do that sooner rather than later, we're gonna adopt something like that.
Mhm. Great, any other thoughts at this point?
Gosh,
Yes, so that's a yes.
yeah, I have other thoughts. You know, one thing that came up, can't remember what meeting I was at, but we put the new interpretive sign in the garden
Mhm.
right by the visitors booth. And that gives a little brief glimpse into Lee's history and kind of relates the garden with the marble pieces to the town. And some people had commented they really liked it. Would it be possible to maybe have a few other signs along, you know, like that we create a real walking tour where there are stops along the tour in front of the library, you know, I think it might be the only Carnegie Library left in the Berkshires. You know, and just what are the things that make Lee special? The firehouse, just different aspects of Lee that would be an interesting walk
Yeah.
around town.
Absolutely. No, that's great.
So that's one.
Yeah.
There's a
You
couple
can
like.
put up some signs with the QR code and then they can like pop, you scan that and you can get all sorts of.
Yeah, you can go even deeper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like those extended interviews that, you know, you only get this much on TV. Yeah, and then I have a couple other, I want to talk to some people first
Yeah.
before it gets reported in the news. So, yeah, I think there's some.
You can
real
talk to her.
exciting-
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Peg, are you here for, you want, is there something you want to say?
Sure.
Come on up.
Yeah, in the park, there is, right next to the Kilbun Memorial, there is a plaque. And I believe there's a time capsule
There is.
that is in that particular plaque. And I even think I know some students who were, it was, when I believe it was done, well, 50 years ago, that's a long time, but Mary Morrissey, who passed this year, she used to teach 8th grade history, and she was a lovely person, loved history, loved the town of Lee. And I believe she was one of the people that did the time capsule, and the students kept saying years ago on the Historical Society, I can't wait till we get that time capsule up and see what it's like and see what things were. I would love to see somehow a futuristic vision of what Lee will be like in 50 years from the young people. I think the young people certainly have a lot more vision on things than say someone old like myself does. And I think that would be terrific somehow to get some young people really involved in the history, in the town. And
So maybe we do our own 2027 time capsule.
maybe we could, who knows?
Students
I
involved.
mean, really, it would be exciting. And all kinds of things, I think the young people really have an interest in and would be terrific to be involved in this.
Mm.
So, I think I might be wrong on this. Bill Matthews, I didn't know if he was coming this evening or not, but, I think he's going to, from the community preservation, may ask to have a book done from Florence, say what Florence Consolati wrote to today. And that would be great too, to have some more information. And just to get, I think, younger people involved is a great thing, because even when they built the thing that's out there, the Murray Pavilion, they said, we are so happy we did this. We were involved. Mr. Heath at the high school
Mhm.
was the teacher and did a great thing with the young people. Which is, I think, what we're all interested in. So I thank you, and I hope we can do things like this in the future.
And I think Oh, sorry.
Well, I just had a thought on it. What would it be? We want to reach out to the school for a student to be on is that kind of what you were thinking?
I wrote down maybe a staff and a student from each of the two schools, maybe.
Because when we were doing the master plan update, we had a high school student who's great, honestly. It was great to have somebody like that. In the group, you know, he wasn't at every meeting, but they're like most of them, yeah.
I was just gonna add that book, that you're talking about, from Florence, that was done on the bicentennial, right?
I think, no, I have it at home.
In 1977, I
Yes,
think, yeah.
It was not, yeah. But it was-
So that he's looking at the 50 years since then,
Yeah.
okay, you know.
I did some interesting things, so she got all the young people to come down in the park during the
Yeah.
festival.
I think they took a picture from
And
the
they
people
took-
on the steeple or something, looking down, and then one back up was on the cover.
Yeah.
I think Brown talked about that.
I think I'm there as a baby.
Like,
I think my mother's holding me in that picture.
Yeah.
The great thing too, though, everybody was, the young people were very excited, and as you said. It's great.
It stood out as a highlight to Susie Brown.
Yes,
Somebody read an acceptance speech for her last night. Not
really,
even there. I
really.
didn't know what exactly what it related to, but. now I do.
Very
It's the
cool.
other people, right?
Yeah, it's the other people. Anyways, I think it'd be great to get a young person on the committee.
I think so too. If we, yeah, maybe somebody in student council or something wanna, you know. There's one other person, Leslie on Zoom. The,
That's Leslie.
oh, is that Leslie Bassman? She's probably just looking to do an article. So I mean, I guess, do you have, is there anything else at this point? I think it's time that we wanna get some, you know, solicit these committees that we listed and probably reach out to those organizations. And, you know, hopefully there's some members at large there that want to express their interest to serve on here and, you know, Chris, Sabrina, think about it. If you also want to be on
Might want to add.
ex officio members.
Leave that.
Oh, I have VFW is on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great, great.
Both of those lists a little.
Oh.
over. I
Sure.
got most of them, but then I got behind.
Sure, the boards and committees, we added the school committee, I think, to this list, and then the select board, agricultural commission, community preservation committee, the cultural commission, Greener Gateway Committee, and historical commission, youth commission, and the Parks and Rec committee were those are the town boards, and then the you know, organizations that are not town related are the ones that we're looking at. Kiwanis, Lions, churches, Masons, VFW, Knights of Columbus, Sons and Daughters of Italy, Historical Society, and then the fire. We can give you this if you want, if that's easier, Alex.
If
too.
we miss someone.
Yeah, please, yeah.
We're not trying to, so
No,
like, let
no.
us know. Yeah.
We wanna be in, this is gonna be a large group. But we do wanna be very inclusive, you know, it's a large event we're talking about here, so,
And I think when you have a large group, you can also divide into subcommittees.
yeah, that's,
It's, you know, not everyone has to do everything, but different pockets can go in different.
yeah,
And that
we're
was the
gonna-
thought with this too, like you have somebody, maybe a group that does mostly the parade and when we're like, you know, the October 21st party, you know, like
Yeah.
anniversary, you know, birthday, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, great. Yeah. Anything else? Bob?
No, I think
No?
that's good.
Board is good with Sabrina and I.
Yes.
Pursuing this.
As long as you both are willing, yeah. And Brooke and the town planner as well, I think she's willing to be,
Well, we can start to reach out. We'll get something on the
Yeah.
website and we'll reach out individually to the committees and organizations. So
it's gonna be kind of what we make of it, in a sense. There's no real. What's the agenda for a 250th, you know, who knows? Whatever we want it to be, I guess. That's what I'm getting at, anyway. All right. There's no further discussion about the 250th anniversary. We will move on. Our next order of business is we have a temporary sign permit amendment to consider. Last meeting, we approved a permit for the Congregational Church for a number of signs, and they wanted to amend that permit to include 2 banners to be mounted on the fence at the park that are going to be 2 feet by 5 feet. And it will say Lee Congregational Church Holiday Fair, November 22nd, 10 to 3, 5 Park Place. And they were only looking to have those banners from, is it the same time or is it November 15th to the 22nd? So they're just gonna put those up for 2 weeks. So I guess I'm looking for a motion to approve the sign permit amendment.
Is this a separate application or an amendment to the existing?
Amendment to the existing is right,
Okay.
yeah, there, that's the one, the existing we approved last
Right.
meeting. This is, yeah,
So I'll move that we amend the sign permit for the first Congregational Church to include 2 banners that are 2 by 5 and waive the fee.
I will second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, our next order of business is we have a recommendation from the Board of Public Works to add a member from that committee to the Public Safety Building Committee. And this point, so just so that everybody's aware, we had 1 resignation from the committee that was a Board of Public Works member. And the Board of Public Works, I don't have anything from them, Chris, but they met and recommended Dave for it.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I'm sort of wondering if we should just table this, Bob, and I have a few reasons. Nothing against Dave. I think that he's done a great job with everything that he's been involved with the town. It just, you know, my thinking is that wouldn't you say we're about midway through the process, maybe something like that?
At least a third of the way through.
Yeah, a third or more way through. The Board of Public Works already has a member. We appointed Rob Wright as a member at large. He's also on the Board of Public Works, so they're already covered. And the Board of Public, or the Public Works sort of phase is complete at this point. Have they been operating out of 102 for a year now? Has it been about a year?
It's
Little over?
pretty close to a year. It was around this
Right
time that
around
they
this
started to
time.
move in, and
So they've been operating for a year. We're kind of done with that phase. So, and again, nothing, you know, I don't have any issues with Dave. I'm wondering if it's necessary. So Bob, if you'd like to make a motion, I'd be happy to second it. We can discuss it further, but I'm sort of the opinion, we just kind of table it and.
Yeah, and I mean, Rob is certainly capable.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I move that we table making an appointment in the Public Safety Building Committee.
I'll second that, and
just as a
we need a.
point
motion to-
of information, a table will
Does-
put it on the next agenda automatically.
I got you. Whereas if we move to table it,
If you move to table it,
But we
it
can
will
just
come back
table
up
it.
on the, if you.
I
So
can
is
just
that what
table
you
it
like to bring
indefinitely.
it?
I was thinking of just tabling it
Then
indefinitely.
you would say postpone indefinitely,
Postpone indefinitely.
because table would put it on the next agenda
Yeah.
automatically, yeah.
Then I'll amend my motion to say that we postpone this decision indefinitely.
Second. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Our next order of business, we have a couple of gas permits to consider. The first of which has already happened, it's non pro tunc, and it was a partial service relocation due to the pipe being corroded. So this work's already been done. I would entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the permit for Berkshire Gas for 51 Park Street.
If, I would second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
So the next Berkshire Gas permit we have to consider is for a gas service abandonment. This is working all on private property. That's 770 Summer Street. About 100 feet from their pool. And you have a little diagram here that kind of specifies. So Bob, if you have any questions or comments, otherwise I would entertain a motion for.
No, I move that we approve the Berkshire Gas company application to remove the service at 770 Summer Street.
I'll second. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Last order of general business, we have a couple of appointments to make. And our first of which is Laura Brown has submitted a resume and interest to be on the Affordable Housing Trust, which currently we have 4 members. You're the 4th, right? 3. I'm the
Yeah.
chair. We have 2 members at large. Chris has been sitting in
Right,
those
yeah.
meetings.
So we have 2 more positions. In which time, if we fill the second, I would move to an ex officio membership,
Yeah.
non-voting member, yeah. Well,
So,
this would be 4 out of 5.
yep. Yeah, so I would entertain a motion to appoint Laura if you're willing to make that, Bob.
Mr. Chair, I move we appoint Laura Brown to the Affordable Housing.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Our next appointment to consider is Ashley Salvini. And I mentioned earlier, Ashley Shepherdson, right? Stepped down. She stepped down from the Board of Public Works as well as the Building Committee. And Ashley Salvini has recently been appointed an alternate, so we would potentially appoint her as a full-time member. Bob, do you want to make that motion?
And Mr. Chair, I move we appoint Ashley Salvini from an alternate to a full-time member of the BPW.
I'll second. And if there's no further discussion, I'll call for a vote. Those in favor?
Aye.
That's the end of our general business. That brings us to any topic the chair could not reasonably anticipate. I don't have anything on my. And Bob,
Nothing, thank you.
so if that's the case, then Chris, I will hand it over to you for your report.
So I did part of it during the 250th, just to say that we've had people reach out, and
Good.
I expect a lot more after tonight's meeting. The other thing I wanted to mention was just an update on the FY27 budget. We've started that process. We've been working on the capitals more or less done. We're waiting on our free cash approval, and then we can fine tune the capital budget. And I have most of the department budgets in at this point. They're officially due to me the end of this week. But the majority of them are in already. We do have some contractual raises that are automatically built in with the unions. And then we do have COLA raises and merit-based raises for non-union. Short of that, most of the budgets so far, if the vast majority of them are either level funded or slightly decreased, and we are anticipating large health insurance increases again. So we are working to cut back wherever we can, and we're really not increasing any budgets except where absolutely necessary. So I expect to have something, a draft to the board by the end of this month to you guys and the finance committee. And they will start to meet, have their kind of initial meetings in probably early to mid-December, and then start bringing in departments right after the new year to go through those. But yeah, we are definitely been warned of high health insurance again. So we're trying, between that and the extra debt service that we're taking on with the public safety building, we are, trying to keep that as the budget is as low as possible in other areas, so.
Great. Thanks. All right, if there's nothing further, our next regular meeting is November 18th. And with that, I'd entertain motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.